I'm an ass man. Bam, bam. Yeah, I'm an ass man.
Brock Lesnar. That's how he says it.
Stone Cold Steve Austin being crucified on a cross.
Wow.
Suspended from the ceiling.
Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today we have a special guest, Jared. This is Courtney's husband that I'm introducing, not her. If you're new here,
Welcome.
welcome. Yeah. And why don't you go ahead and click the subscribe
Smush
button.
that subscribe button.
Smush it.
Smash that like button.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Yes. Yep. So today, since we have a special guest, Jared, Courtney's husband, like I said,
You can just call him Jared.
when we have people come on, we decided that we're going to let them choose the food and give them an option to choose the topic of conversation,
Correct.
which we let Jared do.
He is a nacho connoisseur. It says so on his business card. Therefore, Nacho Day.
They let me choose the food, but they wouldn't let me choose the drinks. I wanted a Dirty 30 and Natty Light, but I couldn't have one.
I don't even know what that is.
Not that kind of channel, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
We don't know. We got Jarritos.
So yeah, we have loaded nachos with beef and beans and salsa and cheese and jalapenos and drinky drinks. And today we're going to talk about
One of Jared's favorite topics. Professional wrestling.
yeah.
That's
So
right.
If you know anything about Jared, that's probably the one thing you do know about him.
we can start eating because it's gonna probably get cold.
I would like to propose a toast with our chips. Alright? There we go.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
So,
This is gonna be a messy episode.
yes. Katie knows maybe almost nothing about professional wrestling. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I only know a little bit because I'm married to Jared, who loves professional wrestling since he was a kid. So, go ahead.
Since I don't know much about the topic, and these two know much more than I do, I'm going to ask them questions, and they're going to explain professional wrestling to me and to you, our viewers.
And Katie's going to answer the questions that she can answer because she does have a favorite professional wrestler and things like that.
Well, yeah, sure. That I know of.
Okay. So without further ado, question number 1.
Without further to do.
Is that what I said?
No.
Oh.
So, my first question will be an easy one, a good one. What is your favorite? Who is your favorite wrestler?
What is your favorite wrestler?
What is my favorite wrestler? I would have to say that my favorite professional wrestler is a guy by the name of Scott Hall, also known as Razor Ramon. I watched him as a kid. He was always in a lot of matches that I liked. He was always wrestling people like Booker T and Shawn Michaels and guys like that. And I was a big fan when I was a kid. So yeah, definitely Scott Hall / Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
Right now I really like The New Day, with Kofi Kingston and is it Big E? And then I don't know the other one's name.
Xavier Woods, except right now I think Kevin Owens is part of the New Day.
Kevin Owens.
It's like a whole thing.
I don't like that. Oh.
We said this was gonna get messy.
Nachos.
Right, now my next question will be, who's your favorite hype man?
Hype man, also known as managers,
Ah.
is actually somebody who Courtney cannot stand. His name is
Ugh.
Paul Heyman.
I really hate that guy. Why? He's the worst. Just- Yeah, I can. I mean, you explain why I hate him.
She doesn't like him because he's a loudmouth. and he talks with like he enunciates all of his words or over enunciates them. But the thing is that it's his job to make you hate him by doing those things. So in essence, you hate him, but by hating him, you appreciate the work he does.
I suppose that's true, because I really, really hate him. Woo! Oh my gosh.
Who's he a hype man for?
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. That's how he says it. Hey, Caden. Wow.
Shalom.
Okay. And who's your favorite hype man?
Mine?
Yeah.
Do you think Enzo Amore was a hype man?
Yeah.
I like him. But who's not part of it anymore?
Who's he a manager for? Who was
He's
he?
like a tag team with
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
this really big...
This is why people don't do nachos for...
Yeah, I suppose so. But I haven't dropped on myself, neither has Jared, so it's just
wow.
you.
Alright.
Katie needs a fork.
Yeah, do you want a fork?
I don't think that's a problem.
Oh. Who was Enzo a tag team with?
Big Cass.
Yeah, he's huge. He's like 7 feet tall. And Enzo Amore is small. Small man.
Wow. Okay. I guess this is probably more of a question for Jared than it is for Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
Do you prefer WWE or WCW? Or...
Well,
I don't really know the difference. Courtney asked me to ask that question.
Well, I definitely prefer WCW. The WCW is not really around anymore. They closed in like 2001. But when I was a kid, I was a big fan. And I preferred WCW over WWE. And a lot of my friends would make fun of me and they'd be like, oh, WCW means we can't wrestle. Which, in retrospect, as an adult, it doesn't really matter if you can wrestle or not because it's a stage sport, you know? So a lot of the stuff, yeah, most of it's not real. I mean, you can't really fake falling down a ladder or off a cage or, being dropped on your neck or whatever, but
Whoa!
the course of events is, anyway, definitely WCW over WWE when I was a kid.
Can I tell a story real quick?
Sure.
Jared, and if Jared, you don't want people to know this, you can cut it out. But the school, when Jared was in elementary school, they had to come out and say, hey, you guys can't do wrestling moves at recess.
Yes.
Because of Jared.
Yes, because of me.
Why?
Yeah. I was practicing wrestling moves on kids.
With their consent or without?
Without. Yeah. And then there was also another story that I'll tell. In the old school WWF, there used to be this group called Degeneration X. And they used to tell people to suck it. Oh, if you don't like that, you can suck it. And I told a girl in first grade to suck it. I didn't know what that meant. And I got in a lot of trouble for that. It didn't go very well. And that was a troubling time of my childhood.
You were in first grade too?
I was in first grade, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so many nachos.
What grade were you in when they banned wrestling moves?
Second grade.
Very nice.
And they banned, not only did they ban wrestling moves, because I don't think that was ever allowed in the first place, but they banned everything wrestling. You couldn't wear t-shirts, no backpacks, you couldn't have a wrestling crayon box.
Oh,
nothing.
because Jared liked to smash his classmates.
I'm sure I wasn't the only one. I hope I wasn't the only one.
Okay. My next question is, what is your favorite storyline?
My favorite storyline... it's kind of regarded as a storyline that didn't really work out that well in retrospect, but at the time it was huge. WWE bought WCW in 2001 for something like $2 million, and instead of just getting rid of it and just pretending it never happened, they decided to buy out as many WCW contracts for the wrestlers as they could, and they had WCW invade WWE, which I thought was an awesome storyline when I was a kid because I thought it was real.
Idiot.
And the reason why it didn't work out that well, though, in a lot of people's opinions, is because they couldn't afford the major contracts that WCW had. They couldn't get Goldberg or Sting or Hulk Hogan or Scott Hall and all those kind of guys.
Never WWE Hogan.
Oh no, Hogan was originally he was like the WWE, like he was the champion, he was the guy, and then he went to WCW, but he was still under contract with WCW when WWE bought them, and WWE didn't want to buy out his contract.
Dang.
A lot of the big people went to WCW.
Yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage went there. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were originally at the WWE as Diesel and Razor Ramon, and they went to WCW, so a lot going on.
Courtney, do you have a favorite storyline?
But I like when Chris Jericho had his checklist.
What's that?
He had a list of people that like
Made him mad.
yeah, and he just walked around with like his little Speedo and a sparkly scarf and like a clipboard, and he'd be like, "I'm adding you to the list." That was like what, 2-3 years ago, longer than that maybe.
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Okay. I have a question for Jared because of what he mentioned in his last story. When did you find out wrestling wasn't real?
Oh, that's a good question.
I kind of always, like, in the back of my mind knew, because there was, like, some crazy stuff that would happen, like, you know, you have, like, The Undertaker, this guy who's supposed to be dead,
Yeah.
and you're like, I remember my mom telling me, like, oh, you really think he's dead, huh? I'm like, well, they call him the dead man. And she's like, okay, but you think he's actually dead. And I'm like, I don't know what I think. I'm 9.
When did you start watching?
I started watching wrestling when I was like 6 years old.
Who got you into it?
My neighbors. I had these neighbors who would watch wrestling every Monday. And I spent the night at their house one time and they were watching it. And I was hooked immediately.
Oh yeah, I bet. 6-year-old watching that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That was a game changer for you.
especially at that time when wrestling was so popular and everyone was watching it, you know. And then like after I started watching, I realized my brother watched it every once in a while, which to me, my brother's like the coolest guy on the planet. So if he watches it sometimes, it must be cool. So, but yeah, I would say I found out wrestling was fake, like definitely for the first time in like 2000 when I was watching. I think it was a match with like Scott Steiner and Booker T, and like Scott Steiner like completely whiffed on this punch, and like Booker T still acted like he got hit. Yeah, so that's when I kind of went, oh, a lot of this is fake, not just the Undertaker not really being dead.
My next question is, what's the most traumatic storyline that you...
Or that like scarred you the most?
Scarred me.
I don't know if scarred you would be one that you like...
No.
No! Yeah, I had that reaction.
Well, there was this storyline going on in WWE in like 1998, and it brought forth like a famous vine. That one where Vince McMahon takes the hood off and he goes, "It's me, Austin.
Yeah.
It was me all along." Basically, the storyline was that there was like a secret entity that ruled the WWF and was making all these decisions, and it was the greater power and all this kind of stuff. But really spooky stuff happened during that storyline, and for me being 6 years old, I don't think I was quite prepared for Ken Shamrock's sister to get kidnapped.
Oh no.
I don't think I was ready for Stone Cold Steve Austin being crucified on a cross,
Wow.
suspended from the ceiling. I don't think I was ready for the Undertaker shooting lightning and stuff like that. Like, I was not ready for any of those
Dead.
things.
Shoot lightning.
So I wouldn't say it scarred me, but it definitely scared me.
So when Vince McMahon took off the hood and was like, "It was me, Austin," were you like, "Oh"?
I was so confused.
Oh.
I did not know what was going on. And there were, and you have to understand at the time, there was so much weird stuff going on. You had Goldust, who was a cross-dresser. You had Val Venus, who was a porn star. You had The Godfather, who was a pimp. You had Kane, who was the brother of The Undertaker, who controlled fire and could shoot fire. And it was just a very confusing time in my life.
And you took out all of that pent-up frustration on the school kid.
That's right. I wanted to see if I could shoot fire. I didn't know.
Courtney, you didn't... I wouldn't ask you that question because you
I don't really have anything.
did not watch enough when you were little, or at all.
Do you need another napkin?
Okay. What's your favorite theme song? I'll ask Courtney this one since...
Oh, jeez, I don't even know.
First. I'll ask Courtney first.
What's the Buttman song?
Oh, I'm an ass man. Bam, bam. Yeah, I'm an ass man. Yeah.
Who's that?
He's called Mr. Ass. I think you could have guessed that. And the whole theme song is about how he likes butts. He really likes butts.
It's like, I want to kiss it. Then what's your favorite walkout song?
Well, let me think. I'm gonna have to say the NWO, because that music was so cool when I was a kid. You know, yeah, like that was cool.
Him and his groomsmen at our wedding also walked down the aisles of that song.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good times.
Forever the wrestling fan.
Okay. What is your favorite gimmick? Courtney, go first since you're...
Oh, I don't even know what a gimmick is.
It's like a character.
Like the Undertaker's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I gotta think about that one.
Alright, I'll go first since I already know mine. So, this kind of ties back into the first question where you were asking if Scott Hall and Razor Ramon were the same person. My favorite gimmick is Razor Ramon's character, which is essentially Scarface. And I watched it in an interview in which Scott Hall was talking about how he came up with the character. And he was saying that he and his friend X-Pac would like sit in the car and like recite lines from the movie and say things like, you know, I want everything that's coming to me, the world, Chico. And that's kind of how he came up with Razor Ramon. It's just essentially wrestling Scarface, but a little more keyed up on the gimmicky side because he wears like long chains and he has greasy hair and all this other stuff. It's a white dude pretending to be a Cuban, essentially.
Wow.
I don't know if I know, because I don't feel like the wrestlers that these days really have gimmicks.
They don't.
So I don't really know a whole lot.
I like Butt Guy.
Ass man?
No.
Oh,
Rikishi. Yes. He pulls up his thong and sits on people's faces.
That's his finisher?
Uh-huh.
Alright,
Well, yes and no.
that's my next question. What's your favorite finishing move?
What, can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it DDP's finishing move?
No, but that's close. That's definitely one of my favorites.
What's that? Is that your favorite?
I'm the only one I really know.
Well, then let's just pretend that's your favorite.
I
Explain.
love DDP.
Explain.
I don't know it. Is that the one that you lifted me up and then like threw me down and I landed on the couch arm?
No, that was when I gave you an attitude adjustment. That was John Cena's finishing move.
Oh.
The Diamond Cutter, which is DDP's finishing move. You know the RKO?
Yeah.
It's essentially that.
Oh. She doesn't know though.
Have you seen those videos with Randy Orton where he's like doing that move to people? Like,
He like grabs him by the neck and like...
yeah, and just kind of like pulls them down. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, that's basically the diamond cutter. That's DDP's finishing move. My favorite finishing move is Goldberg's jackhammer. And it's cool because, like, when I was a kid, it was so cool to see this guy like lift people up and just hold them up there. He did it to the Big Show.
Whoa!
And he held them up there for like 15 seconds or something. It was nuts.
Jeez.
Just like over his head, and like so he would like lift him up and like walk around with him and then just slam him down. It was so cool.
Jeez.
Okay. Let me see. I only have a couple questions left. So.
Only a couple.
That one is good because he could probably go on for a while about that.
Okay. All right. My next question is, what's your favorite match?
My favorite match has to be The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 18. The NWO came back to the WWE, or they came to WWE for the first time, I should say. And they were attacking Stone Cold and attacking The Rock and all this other stuff. And it was in a build-up to like WrestleMania. And it was supposed to be like icon versus icon. You had to.
So, The Rock versus...
Oh yeah, The Rock versus Hulk Hogan. So, it was WrestleMania 18, and the NWO came to WWE for the first time, and they were like trying to invade. It's a whole storyline, but the match was essentially supposed to be The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, icon versus icon. The Rock had kind of taken over the mantle as like the new best wrestler, the most popular wrestler, or whatever. Although you could debate Stone Cold was also the most popular. Anyway, then you had Hulk Hogan, who used to be the most popular wrestler in the world and all this other kind of stuff. And it was supposed to be this huge match, and it was huge. It was awesome. Like, you could hear the crowd. Like, the crowd was supposed to be booing Hulk Hogan, but they were cheering Hulk Hogan. And they were also cheering The Rock. And there was a lot of theatrics and going back and forth. And the match was awesome. It wasn't like technically great, but it was like fun to watch. So, that's definitely my favorite match of all time. Courtney,
Nice.
What about you, Courtney?
No, jeez.
The Royal Rumble?
I love the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it's
For people that don't know what the Royal Rumble is, it's probably the funniest match of all of the matches, the pay-per-view matches, because they bring out one person at a time, and there's how many total? 25?
30.
30. So it's 30 people in the ring just wrestling, and you're like, well, you
They
could
come out every 2 minutes.
Yeah, is it 2 minutes?
I think it's like every minute.
Okay. But, so it's one person comes out, and then another person comes out and they wrestle, and then another person comes out and they're like, hey, me too. And then it just keeps going like that, and people get thrown out of it's like if your feet touch the ground outside of the ring, then you're out. Mm-hmm. And that's why Katie likes Chris Jericho, because the one that she watched, he was
Just hiding. Like the whole time,
and then like
till the end.
And then people would get thrown out, and then he'd come back and be like, oh, here we go. So I don't know.
We liked that match. We liked liking him because Courtney hated him.
I hate Chris Jericho. I just think he's really annoying.
So we do things to make Courtney annoyed.
Yeah.
Because it's funny.
For them.
So liking Chris Jericho made Courtney annoyed, so we thought it was funny to like him. Anyway.
And then whenever the Royal Rumble is like the one thing that my siblings like with wrestling will actually come and watch because it's fun. So Royal Rumble basically in our house is like WrestleMania. We get like pizza and snacks and. Did I say Royal Rumble? I meant WrestleMania. Royal Rumble is like WrestleMania. Okay.
You had it right.
Okay.
Okay. My last question.
This is a surprise question.
This is hold on. My last question is very important.
Mm-hmm.
We must know. Bang, marry, kill Hulk Hogan, Razor Ramon, Kevin Nash.
Wow.
And if you want Courtney to go first, or I don't know.
I kind of want to hear what Courtney has to say.
I'd kill Hulk Hogan. I'd marry Kevin Nash because I mean he still looks great. But hold on, is it Razor Ramon now or Razor Ramon back in the day? Because now he looks like death. The
Let's
drug
say-
use has caught up to him.
Let's say the heydays, the good days.
The heyday. Okay,
Wait,
so
is
still marry Kevin Nash because he's hot back then too. And then I guess I would just bang Razor Ramon. Wow. Jared?
Wow. That's a great question. I don't want to kill any of them.
You have to.
I have to kill one. Oh, jeez. I don't know, man.
This is
This is a hard
Okay,
question.
I'm gonna pull.
guys.
I'm gonna pull up pictures so Katie can see, and then I'll have her answer too.
I know the Hulkster.
I know you.
I know the Hulks.
Alright. I am a Hulkster aficionado.
Okay, here's Razor Ramon.
Show the camera.
Should I show the camera? Razor Ramon. Oh, here's all three of them.
Oh. Okay.
Hulk, Razor, Kevin Nash.
Okay.
Should I show this picture?
Sure.
I suppose I will kill Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, clearly, obviously.
Did you ever see that episode of when he had his reality TV show?
Oh, of course, I watched that show.
And the guy that was dating his daughter was like, wrestling's fake. And he's like, he's like, what'd you say? Get out of my house.
Wasn't it like Hogan Knows Best or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watched that show.
Anyway.
My favorite part of that show
Oh no.
is him going around that little, what was it?
Segway?
Segway, yeah. And he would just, get into an argument with his wife, and he'd be on a Segway.
So, kill Hogan.
Absolutely.
I would bang Razor Ramon and marry...
The same as me.
Oh. And
Good
that
choice.
Nash guy.
That's a great choice, Caitlin.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jared?
Alright. You guys are ridiculous. Alright. I gotta kill Hulk Hogan.
Of course you do.
I really don't want to. It's nothing against you.
I just don't want to bang or marry you.
If you ever watch this, okay?
You're not nice.
Hulk Hogan, please understand, I don't want to kill you. I'd probably marry Razor Ramon.
Interesting.
Yeah. And obviously, I guess that means I would have to bang Kevin Nash.
Not a bad option.
Yeah. I guess if you're into that sort of thing.
Alright, you heard it here, folks.
Jared
won. Sorry I couldn't finish all of it.
I mean, we made a pretty big dent, I feel.
We'll probably finish it.
We'll probably eat this for dinner, too.
Yeah. So, thanks for watching our video.
Mm-hmm.
If you liked it,
Smush that like button.
Smush the like button. Leave a comment saying who's your favorite wrestler.
Mm-hmm. And who's your least favorite wrestler?
Yeah. Who's your favorite wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah!
And subscribe.
And which one do you want to bang?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good idea, guys. Yeah.
That's, it, right? So, we'll see you next time here at Snack and Chat.
Peace out, nerds.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.